But coming from a small town conservative mindset and values and having older cousins throughout my life, I've learned that if you don't hold your position, they'll take your toys from you, they'll take your girlfriend from you, they'll take everything that you hold dear and near to your heart from you, because that's that competitive nature that's innate with
Gentlemen, what's
going on? How many videos have we watched? 1,001 ways to be alpha, how to hold masculine frame, get all the women you want by being that strong masculine frame upholding man. This is the Better Man channel, where we debunk the illusions, the BS of society, and get down to the basics, keyword basics, of what it means to be a man. We live in a culture today that has emasculated the very nature of man. We say that the key virtues of masculinity are toxic: to be assertive, to be dominant, to be strong, to be competitive. We see this weak culture that looks at that and says, no, we're going to hand out participation trophies for everyone. So you being strong and dominant, no, that's toxic. We don't want any part of that. And so we'll see a weak society. We see a weakening of men. We've all encountered that. And so it's no wonder that people are searching out, what does it mean to be masculine? How do we uphold that masculine frame? And as anything, when there's a need for something, there's a demand for something, there's going to be people come and supply, and not everybody's going to be that upright supplier. So we see a lot of snake oil salesmen just trying to feed the demand. And so we see a lot of people selling these $500 courses. We see a lot of gentlemen saying you must do this, you must do that, but they have no experience, they have no background in actually doing that. They're just BS snake oil salesmen trying to sell those that are in need of something. And so we get all this garbage that men are trying to add to their lives. I've got to do this, and I have to uphold this kind of frame and do this, and then maybe I'll get a girl, or maybe I'll do this, or maybe... Here's the deal. On the path to becoming a better man, we don't become better man to attract specifically the opposite sex. We're not doing it so that everybody can come tap us on the shoulder or applaud us or praise what we've become. We become better man because that's our innate nature. We have this intrinsic value within us to become those strong, assertive, dominant men. And in doing so, that becomes attractive. The opposite sex is attracted to a man that takes care of business. That's that strong, upright man. Other gentlemen hold you in esteem because they're like, damn, that's a man's man that can take care of business. And that's what I want to build upon right there, taking care of business. I've been that addict. I've been that entitled little asshole boy mindset where I haven't taken care of business in my life. But coming from a small town conservative mindset and values and having older cousins throughout my life, I've learned that if you don't hold your position, they'll take your toys from you, they'll take your girlfriend from you, they'll take everything that you hold dear and near to your heart from you, because that's that competitive nature that's innate with men. And we see that in boys. We see little children or little guys trying to challenge themselves on the schoolyard or in the backyard growing up. We challenge ourselves. That's that competitive nature. And I think that's been pushed to the side. The very characteristics of man that make man strong, dominant, assertive, holding that masculine frame have been deemed toxic. And we try to strip away that very nature from boys. You know, the schoolyard fist fights to see who's the toughest. God, no, we can't have that. Karens are showing up to press charges against the school, the parents, the kids, future generation kids. We're suing everybody. And so we've said you can't be that very virile nature that makes boys boys. And so we see a generation of men that are, well, what do I do? How do I hold frame? What does it mean? I'm trying to attract women. I'm trying to be attractive. I'm trying to have value. And so again, snake oil salesmen come along and twist this all up. In simplest terms, maintaining frame is being that strong, upright man of virile nature that is assertive and dominant when needed. He takes care of business. He doesn't back down. And here's an example. When I was in high school, me and my buddies were going to the school to get physical so that we could play sports for that year. And so there was a group of us football players going to get our physicals. And one of the older guys had this girlfriend, and some guys that were out of school already had kind of dated her. And there was this, as always, over a girl. But anyway, we're going to meet in a parking lot and we're going to throw down. And these are at least 18 years old, but as what I remember, they were like mid-20s, some of the guys. There wasn't as much of them as there were us, but there were, enough of them, and they're bigger and they're older, and they all showed up in their own cars, and I don't even know if all of us was old enough to drive, but we got that football rage. We're ready to kick ass. And so we show up, and we walked up to them and said, we're here to kick ass, man. And for me or some of the other guys, it wasn't even about the girl, it was about the principle. This was our buddy. No one's going to punk us out and treat us like little kids. We stood up to the opposition. In the simplest term, masculine frame is standing up for what you believe in. You're not backing down, right? That's your frame. This is my position. This is what I believe in. I stand dominant in that. And I guarantee you, I don't think there were any girls around, but if there were girls around, they would have been like, oh my God, look at these little teenage boys standing up to these men like they're badasses. Give them my number. We didn't have social media back then. We barely had cell phones. We were just coming about. But that's that frame. That's that strength. That's what is attractive, not only to women, but men hold you in esteem. Like that dude stood up for what he believes in. We want to attract a good circle of friends. We want to attract women and the right relationships. We want to just carry ourselves with that admirability that is contagious and that attracts other people towards us. We maintain frame. We stand up for what we believe in. We don't back down. We're not a coward. It's that definition of courage. I've heard someone say, you can't really define it, but courage is when everybody's running away from the burning building, you're running towards it. So whatever situations in your life where other people are like, man, I don't want any part of it, or that's too difficult, or that's too much risk, you stand up, say, I'm going to take that risk because it's in accordance with my values, my beliefs, and I like to play a little bit on the dangerous side. And you maintain that frame. I want people to understand that maintaining that masculine frame is just being that guy's guy, right? Get women outside of your head, get everything else out of your side. Maintaining frame is just that virile nature of them boys on the schoolyard that are fist fighting to prove who's the baddest. In simplest terms. Now, as we mature and cultivate that responsibility and know when to fight and know when not to fight and know what's worth it and what's just whatever, then that grows and that progresses. But at the very essence of it, it's that virile nature that those young boys possess to prove who's the baddest. I stand up for what I believe in. I'm not going to back down. Yeah, you may kick my ass, but it's going to be a hell of a fight, and I'm not just going to give in. That's masculine frame. There's not a woman in this world, biologically speaking, socially speaking, even in modernity, that doesn't appreciate a man that says, by God, this is what I stand for, and this is what I'm about. I'm not backing down. That's maintaining frame. A lot of these weak-ass content creators that have never been in a fight, they never got their toys stolen from them as kids, or if they did, mama came out and helped them from that, or they just ran in, or they didn't even have a father figure in their life to teach them what it's about to step up for what's yours and never be punked out. And so we see a lot of people just trying to sell these ideas to you. And again, I'm not saying I'm some badass man or that I've got it all together, but I know that maintaining frame is about not backing down. And my God, I've ran my own foot over 1,000 times. Life has ran my foot over 1,000 times, but I got to get back up. I can't lay there and allow life to punk me out, or I'm just that weak, effeminate man that society has marginalized by stripping away my very masculine nature. We want to maintain frame. We want to be those strong, upright men. We stand up for what we believe in. We don't back down. And that's where we see in society. A lot of men have backed down. A lot of people are resigning themselves to the sidelines, saying, nah, it's too hard. I don't want any part of that. But I promise you, if you'll stand up for what you believe in, that's masculine frame. That virile nature to say, if it comes to fist, I'm ready to throw. We see a lot of people that'll claim and posture and beat their chest. I'm alpha, I'm this and that. And they may have the look, they may have the appearance, they may have that facade. But if it came down to it, they would run quicker than a bitch in a fist fight on a $3 hooker at a night in a dark alley. I thought that might have made more sense coming out. I'm not sure if it did. The point is, they're going to run when shit gets tough. Maintaining frame is saying to yourself, I believe in this, I'm not backing down. How do we develop that? It's like a muscle. We start in the little things, right? If somebody's speaking some nonsense about a buddy of yours, or you're at work and they're just saying some nonsense speaking about a coworker, stand up and say, hey, that person's not here, man. Why don't you say it to their face? Or, that's disrespectful. I'm not going to allow you to talk behind someone's back that's not here. You stand up in these little things, right? You're at the grocery store. Someone cuts in front of you in the line. Instead of saying, hey, it's no big deal, practice that. Hey, man, I was here. And there's a respectful and assertive way to do that, right? I was here, man. Hey, you cut in front of me. We begin practicing these small things so when the bigger things happen, because they are, that's life. These unexpected big things are going to happen. And when you maintain that frame, through developing it through those small things, you're capable of doing it in the bigger things. Right? Know your values, know your standards, and begin practicing standing up for them. You're not going to let people talk about your buddy. You're not going to let people disrespect you. But also use this. Don't become that fake alpha that's beating us. Just, by God, you cut in front of my line. Blah blah blah. Practice it in small doses. Build yourself up. Don't become an asshole, but be assertive. Be that man that maintains frame. Nobody's going to walk over you like a welcome mat. Right? Be that assertive guy that stands up for that virility. Like I said, maintaining frame comes back from that very basic of those childhood fights to prove who's king of the mountain. We lose that as we grow up, and rightfully so, in the sense that we become mature and we know when to pick and choose our battles. But still, a man without the capacity to be violent, a man without the capacity to stand his ground, he isn't much of a man. Maintaining frame is about standing up for your beliefs, not backing down, no matter the situation. I love you guys. I respect you guys. You'll hear from me next episode.